TSUTigers.com here with head coach Rod Reed. Coach, can you tell us about your offense?
Well, our offense is headed up by Jeff Parker. He's our offensive coordinator, and I think they're doing a really good job over there this camp. We give multiple sets. It allows our defense to be able to adapt to a lot of things that they may see on down the road or in our first ball game. So I'm really pleased with what we're doing offensively and how we get to certain things in our offense.
Can you talk a little bit about the staff that you have assembled on the offensive side?
Well, like I said, Jeff Parker's the offensive coordinator. He coaches our quarterbacks. Kevin Mashak is our recruiting coordinator, and he has switched from wide receivers to running back this year. We brought in Chris Chestnut last year as the quality control guy and bumped him up to wide receivers coach, and he's doing a really good job with those guys. And Russ Ehrenfeld is a mainstay on our offensive line. He does an incredible job teaching the fundamentals and techniques of offensive line play, and he's a great motivator. And Antonio Bradford is also tied into the O-line with the tackles and tight ends, and he's done a really good job for us working with those guys. And I think that we have a great group of guys over there on the offensive side of the ball, and I think that they're doing a heck of a job.
Now, a lot of your staff has been together for quite some time. Kind of talk about the continuity of having a group stay with, for so long.
I mean, that's really good because, you kind of know each other's ins and outs. You know what kind of gets under people's skin and what doesn't. And it's a good problem, not a problem to have, but it's a good situation when you know your guys. And sometimes, it's just like the other day, Coach Ehrenfeld was walking down the hall, and I just pulled him in my office. And I said, "What's going on, man?" He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Something ain't right with you, And we started talking. He had some issues that we talked about, and it's just good to be able to know your staff like that and be able to kind of, know how and what to look for, during certain times to kind of pick them up when they need picking up, or get on them when they need to be got on. And it's my job, as Coach Joe Gillum used to say, is to coach the coaches. So, I thought that was really interesting that day that we had that conversation. But that happens a lot. I can just tell when some of those guys need a little pick me up, or when sometimes they kind of need a kick in the butt, and they know the same thing with me. So it's good to have a staff that you can relate to, and we know that at the end of the day, we all have the team's best interests at heart. And when we leave our meeting room, we're going to agree to disagree sometimes, and we're going to move on from there.
Just real quick on the offense, going back to it, last year you guys were the top offensive unit in the OVC. What do you expect from your staff and your squad this year?
We talked about that here about a week ago, and I said, if we could just hold serve on offense and score the kind of numbers that we put up last year, defensively, we got a little catching up to do. I thought that, last year toward the end of the season, we gave up a lot of points on the defensive side of the ball. But if we can score in that 34, 35 point range and play good defense, we're going to be hard to beat.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Coach.